Hi, my name's Martin, and if you haven't been on this channel before, then I came to Malaysia, to Langkawi, and bought the only sailboat that I could afford. And now we've got to try and get her ready to get her off the dock. So today it's the day to start our little jobs, and the first one is going to be winches. It's taken about 2 weeks for me to get the tools to do this, so yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating couple of weeks where I've just had to sit looking at everything that needs doing and waiting for it to waiting for the tools to arrive. So anyway, things are here now for the winches, so let's see if we can get them working. As you can see, I've been following YouTube advice, and I've got a box and I've fixed it around it in the hope that we're not going to have anything pinging off into the water, because it's right on the side deck. And so let's see how we go about doing this. I think the first thing we need to do, and I've already started during the pause, is removing this circlip on the top here, and as you can see, I've actually loosened it up and it seems to be moving quite well. I have, over the past couple of days, been spraying it with WD-40 just to make sure that everything's nice and loose. And the only thing that isn't loose is the actual winch itself. Anyway, let's get going. Well, I hope you can see what we're doing, because I've tried to put the camera up high for you. And so let's see if we can get this little clip off. There we go, and that was easier than I ever expected. So I think next we need to take this plate off. Oh, look at that. This seems to be rather too easy. So now, so this is where I think it's all going to get more difficult, because, as I say, the winch itself is jammed completely. Hold on, let's just put it down. And I'm not sure you can see, but this is supposed to lift off, and it's not. There's two what you call pulls on either side. They don't seem to be moving at all. So let's see if we can get them to move. And nothing is moving in there, so I think we have to use a bit of force, and I'll save you the bother of watching this bit, but yeah, this is where it is completely jammed. So it's about 4 hours later, and I've spent 4 hours trying to get that winch apart, and I suppose what you would call it the outer body of it. Let's have a look on this one. This is the other side, and this part of it is supposed to just slide off, and no, it would not. Eventually somebody came and felt sorry for me, and we tried to lever it off with everything possible, and this is the result. We now have no winch, and you may notice that we levered it off, and there's nice little screw or bolt holes that haven't ripped, and there were no nuts on the underneath of it whatsoever. So there's a lesson. Well, it's a lesson I learnt on my previous boat, which was only a little 22-foot Catalina. Check every nut and bolt when you first start, because you never know which ones are actually put on tight or which are on there at all. So no nuts at all, and it was held there with Sikaflex, and it got levered off the deck. So now it's off to somebody else to try and do something with it. They need it on the bench. So I do still have another winch to deal with. That's one on the mast. It's absolutely jammed, exactly the same as the first one. Well, I hope not exactly the same. I hope it's a little bit easier. But in the meantime, there's another little job that I want to deal with this week, and that's to try and rescue my dinghy. The dinghy doesn't hold air very well. The problem with dinghies is the material can go slightly what they call porous over time. When I say porous, it means that the air just naturally leaks out of the material itself, rather than any leaks or any problems with the stitching. And I think that's what my problem is, and so I've looked around and found something that should deal with the problem. And what I found is this stuff. I don't know if you can see that. It comes from the UK. It's called seal skin. It's supposed to seal up a porous dinghy. I'm absolutely not being sponsored for this, by the way. It's just I chose this because it's in the UK. I know the shop, the rib store. My family have used it a lot. My brother was into diving in a big way at one point, and had his own ribs, so he used this place. And so when I was looking for something to seal the dinghy, that's who we went to. So yeah, if it works, I'm sure they'll be very happy that I'm recording this. If it doesn't, then I think they're going to regret selling it to me, quite honestly. But anyway, let's see. Now the idea is that you pour this liquid into the chambers equally, then you inflate the dinghy, and then you tumble it so that it coats the whole of the inside. Then you have to leave it. It needs deflating and reinflating and tumbling a few times over about a 48-hour period, and then hopefully we'll have a dinghy that actually holds air for more than a couple of hours. And as I say, at the moment it's not too bad. It does hold air for a reasonable amount of time, but overnight definitely not. So let's see how we get on with this. And as I say, the first thing we need to do is just take this and pour it equally into the chambers. Okay, so the liquid's in, and now all we've got to do is pump it up, which I'll save you the problem of watching me puffing and panting, and then we've got to revolve it around to try and coat all the inside of the chambers. Okay, so we've revolved it a couple of times, and let's leave it like that for now and see what happens. Right, so let's see if we get any better luck this time. Ignore the wind noise, please, because wind seems to follow me wherever I go. here we go again. Okay, so we've got like a I don't know, I'd have called it a hub puller, a gear puller, something like that, but yeah, anyway, we've got that. It seems to fit it, sort of. It seemed, I've just tightened it up and it seems to have started it moving. The problem is, what's going to happen when it takes it out? Is everything going to go pinging out into the sea? I suppose the only way to find out is to try, isn't it? Well, after a great deal of persuasion, the main body's off. So our next little challenge is to get this little guy out here, which is a key. Put the camera on it, it'll help, won't it? There we go. Well, that one's out. And then once we've done that, this should just, and it is, just pull it out. That's a bit messy, isn't it? And that is what the problem is, I think you'll find. It's full of what looks like sand, but it's not. So sand is so that needs cleaning. Well, it's still a bit stiff, but it does at least turn. Right, a quick update on the dinghy. If you remember yesterday morning, I know it's probably in YouTube chart time, it was a couple of minutes ago, but for me it was yesterday morning, so 24 hours ago, we put in a tube seal. When I put that in, I revolved it a few times, turned it over, spread it around the inside hopefully. Then I've deflated and reinflated once last night. I think you have to do it a couple of times in the 48 hours, so I'll probably do it again later on. But the news is, for the first time ever, the dinghy is holding air. It's sat overnight, and overnight is when it usually loses the most air, because obviously the temperature goes down, and so the pressure goes down, but yeah, it's still pretty much solid. So Rib Store, I'm very happy with you. So our other winch came back all repaired and ready to go. It's now bolted on with a G10 backing plate on it, and some nuts for the first time ever. So that shouldn't give us any more problems. Here we go, it's over here, and yeah, all working nicely. So we can end this week on a high note, because 2 successful jobs. We will now have a full complement of working winches, and we have a dinghy that holds air. So yeah, that's a good place to finish, I think. So thank you for watching as ever, and remember, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. There's much more coming up, and we do hope to get this boat off the dock in the next month or so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and leave a like. Once again, it's always something that encourages YouTube to send these videos to more people. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.